We are Zach and Jack, and you can catch us on Fox Sports Radio, 6 to 9 Eastern, every weekday, and of course on the weekends you can get us as well, 4 to 7. We've broken down the other brackets, the East, the West, the Southwest. Let's talk about the Southeast, which Zach, in my opinion, the number 1 seed Pittsburgh got a great draw in this bracket against the number 2 seed at the bottom is Florida. I think this is the weakest bracket by far. It's not even close in my opinion. So it's going to be an interesting play as the teams in this bracket battle it out. Who do you like?
Well, I'll tell you who I don't like, and most of America don't like Florida being a number 2 seed.
No, I don't either.
Most of America is a little bit scared about the BYU Cougars being a number 3 seed because would they have been a number 3 seed if they played all year without their top rebounder, Brandon Davies? And we see how that's been going as they lost to New Mexico, got crushed in Provo, and then San Diego State really owned them in the Mountain West Conference game. So, yeah, on that side of things. And at number 4, Wisconsin.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously, could anybody be stumbling?
Points.
33 points. A football team will put up 70,
yeah,
but the basketball team puts up 33. So a lot of people are thinking that Belmont, and by the way, one of my favorite legs of the Triple Crown in horse racing, that Belmont will beat the number 13 seed, will beat the number 4 seed Wisconsin.
Does everything you do go back to gambling?
A little bit there.
I mean, is that really how you roll?
Yeah,
He's a gambler.
Well, we talked Louisville last bracket, and I kept the Kentucky Derby out of that one. But when Belmont's sitting right there, how do you avoid it?
So who do you like? I've got Pittsburgh advancing past Butler. I've got K-State advancing past Wisconsin. I've got St. John's, who I really loved, but I think they're going to have some trouble with BYU. That altitude thing, we've dug into this.
Let's dig into that. They're playing in Denver, Jack, and and Utah has got an altitude, and Madison Square Garden, New York. Okay, I think I realize that. But we're hearing, and Seth Davis of SI.com told us this, that the altitude is going to make a big difference, and that will really help BYU if and when they play St. John's in Denver.
I'm still taking St. John's, but I do think after thinking about it, after having talked about it, as an NFL player, we'd fly in, play the game, and be gone. So you're only there for 24 hours. The rule was if you're going to be there for any length of time, that's where the altitude becomes a problem. Your body starts to feel the altitude more as you're there longer. So I've got St. John's, then I've got Florida beating Michigan State. How about you?
Well, I think it's safe to say that no members of the BYU Cougars will be joining the Mile High Club while they're in that high altitude at Denver. We have an honor code out there in Provo. What was your question again?
Are you kidding me?
Pitt,
who do you
the
like?
Elite Eight. I like St. John's in the Elite Eight. 2 Big East teams going to meet up right there. St. John's, they can beat anybody, right? But most of those wins came at Madison Square Garden when they beat quality teams. I think, although they beat Pitt this year by 1 point, that game was in New York. I think Pitt gets a revenge. I think Pitt makes it to the Final Four. I don't know how they're going to do after that.
Yeah, I see. I've got Pitt losing. I've got Kansas State, a team that I think will rise up and play well in the tournament. A team that struggled sometimes during the year, but I've got them beating Pittsburgh, getting to the Elite Eight, playing St. John's. I've got K-State beating St. John's and K-State getting to the Final Four. How about that?
This is an interesting bracket because while you could say this about most teams in March Madness, more so this region, teams like K-State, St. John's, they can beat anybody, they can lose to anybody.
They've got a shot. This bracket, like I said, I think it's a bunch of average teams, including 1 and 2.
Bunch of average teams with some teams that are willing to play great at times, like the Red Storm.
Right,
like
so how do you pick them? I think this bracket, while the weakest bracket, is, in my opinion, the toughest bracket to get through. I've got Kansas State coming out of that one, playing Notre Dame in the Final Four.
So I got a Kansas team in the Final Four, and so do you. Yours is Kansas State coming out of the Southeast, and mine's the Jayhawks coming out of the Southwest. So my Final Four, to catch you up on some of the other videos, Syracuse in the East, I got San Diego State out West, I got the Kansas Jayhawks in the Southwest, and the Pitt Panthers in the Southeast.
And I've got Ohio State in the East, I've got UConn in the West, Notre Dame in the Southwest, and Kansas State in the Southeast. I've got Ohio State advancing to the championship game, as well as Notre Dame. Notre Dame is the other team for me. My winner, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
I want you to preserve this because the perfect bracket needs to be preserved the same way like the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence. This paper will live in infamy forever at the Smithsonian. Frame it, laminate it, keep it. It's my perfect bracket. Get out of there. When I got the championship game, and careful with this one, folks. I got Kansas playing Syracuse, but I'm going to go with the Kansas Jayhawks, Bill Self. Good luck to you guys. Good luck in your March Madness bracket.
We're Zach and Jack on Fox Sports Radio.
Frame it.